At 40 years of age, Chael Sonnen does not see himself slowing down anytime soon. Currently signed with Bellator, the former UFC title contender last saw action in June by defeating Wanderlei Silva via unanimous decision in New York City. There are no current fights lined up for the American gangster, but he had been recently called out by UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell. Sonnen, however, claimed that Liddell seems more interested in staying retired, so he shifted his focus on a new marquee-named opponent. In a recent interview with BJ Penn Radio, Sonnen broached the possibility of fighting Fedor Emelianenko at heavyweight. "I think it's hard to imagine that doesn't happen. We're only about 20 pounds apart," Sonnen said. "I get up to about 216 pounds, maybe that's a little heavy, but right in there, around 216. Fedor has weighed in pretty consistently at 236 for the last number of years. So, you're only talking about 20 pounds. I know some people say don't do that fight, he's too big, but we're only talking about 20 pounds, he continued. "When I started this thing, we didn't have weigh-ins. I've never cared what a guy weighed. I will acknowledge that there's an advantage at a certain point to a certain size, but 20 pounds, man, that's not very much." After his Bellator debut in March, former UFC welterweight Rory MacDonald opened up the idea of becoming both the welterweight and middleweight champion simultaneously. And if these plans push through, Sonnen says he is also willing to take on MacDonald at 185 pounds. "I'm quite sure he'll have to whip Rory's ass sooner or later here. In fact, when I got into Bellator, that was the very first question I asked Scott Coker," Sonnen said. "Before he even knew that I was looking to come over, that I had the ability to sign with him, I just sent him a text and said, me versus Rory, does that interest you? And he said it sure does. Why are you asking so? Yeah, Rory was one of the first guys on my radar. I think Rory and I are very likely to be matched up. That's one thing I like about Bellator. I like guys shifting around between weight classes. You're starting to see the UFC do that too.